Alright, so I'm redoing my Jon Boat. Duck hunting, basic, we use for fishing boat, I use it for duck hunting. There's a lot of people do, they're really good for standing in, flat bottom. This one's a 14 foot. So keeps you stable, stand up, pop up and shoot. And it's old, it's my uncle's. He doesn't use much anymore, so he lets me use it. So what I did was, and I'll pick the camera up and show you all the spots, is this is probably about 10-year-old boat. It's been painted over a couple times. Never had any big projects done on it like this one. So what I'm doing here is I have a drill, and I just have a wire brush. Turn it on, it spins really fast, and I'm using it to, one, prep the surface for repainting. Gives it a nice rough surface. The paint can catch it really well, hold on to it. And I'm going to give it a Rust-Oleum base and then go over with the camo paint. For this particular project, I'm just using the very outside of the boat and the bottom where you stand, because that's where the most water is, for the Rust-Oleum base, because that's going to give it the most rust protection. So when you grind it out, you just take this, find the spot that you want to grind out. This is my spot right here. I'll show you quick. That it's a really little spot, but those tend to spread and then into bigger ones. So just take it, turn it on whichever way you want. Does not matter much. You just turn it on. Don't need to go really fast. Just a nice. Alright. Grind it until you see shiny silver. So I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, right there. Show you again a little bit close up. Just grind out any rust that's there. And then right now I'm wiping it away. I've already gone over the whole boat and painted the bottom side. But the biggest thing is you also, once you grind down the whole boat, you want to rinse it with a hose, pop the plug at the back, rinse it out with the hose. You want to get all the dust and debris out of there, and then take a wet rag and rub everything off, because if I rub my hand on here, you might not be able to see it the best, but there is still some dust on there, so you want to use a wet rag for that. Now I'm going to show you all the spots. Alright, you can see a bunch of silver spots. That's where rust was. Grind it out. That was a big spot of rust. And the biggest spot is there. You want to check on the rivets, because the rivets are very important. If one pops, then it's going to leak much worse. Back here, I did a lot of grinding. This is where the Go Devil handle sits, so it's kind of bent and misshapen, but also oil was leaking on here, and that's really bad. That not going to give it a oil and gas is going to not allow the paint to sit properly. It'll peel really quick, so I grinded that all down. There was a big spot, and then there was a lot of rust spots. So what you're really going to want to do, grind it, get rid of as much rust as you can. You're not going to get rid of it all. You're not going to get rid of it all, but as best as you can to make the boat last. And then just go over the bottom. I'm going to start up here with a nice coat of paint. I'm just going to do a little section and then show you. Alright, so that little bit is what I did. I put it on pretty thick because it does dry and thin out a little bit. So put it on thick, go over. I'm going over the entire bottom of the boat, under the seats, all the way to the back end. So I'm going to pause it now and then show you what I have when I'm done. Alright, so done painting the bottom of the boat. Again, I used the anti-rust. Paint that I used was Valspar anti-rust. I bought the flat black. That's really important with hunting boats because, especially with duck hunting, because when you're out there, if something's shining that isn't normal to ducks, they're not going to like it. So you want to get the flat because that's not going to shine. It's just going to be the color. So you don't want to get the gloss or semi-gloss. That shines way too much. So I've done the bottom of the boat. I'm going to show you what I did here. Ran into a few problems. That's what the bottom looks like. Back here. Yeah, I don't know how good you can see that. Not the best lighting. But the back of the boat, that was probably my toughest challenge. I'm going to tell you why. I did the scraping. I scraped it with the sander, and then I used a hose outside and I washed it all, and then I let the water drain out from the boat plug. But a lot of it built up behind the boat plug and on the crease in the back of the boat. So there's a lot of dirt back there, and I did my best to pull it out, but you're not going to get all of it out. So I laid it on really thick. Another hard thing that I came across was underneath the seat, the middle, and the front. The front was really hard. You can kind of see up there. I didn't get all of it. I'll deal with it. Not a lot of water gets down under there. And then the back here, because I didn't have much room to get under there. So I did as best as I could to cover it all, but I mean, I'm not a professional painter. I'm a hunter. And you might ask, well, why am I not covering the whole bottom and sides and seats and everything? I don't have the most money. I'm a college kid. So I want to try and conserve the paint. I use the Rust-Oleum on the bottom because that's where most of the water sits. So to me, that's the most important. And the biggest reason I'm doing this video is I haven't seen. I was trying to look for videos on how to do this because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, what the best way was, and I didn't see anything. So hopefully this will help you guys out. I also want to show you what I've been doing the last 2 days. I've been doing the outside, and I did the bottom. If you see, the bottom is solid black. I gave the whole outside of the boat the black anti-rust paint. That was just the outside, whole outside, sides and bottom. But then I did a second coat of the black underneath, directly on the bottom, and then my second coat on the sides and the front of the hull was tan. And that's because, again, it is conserving paint. And I want to try and keep this as cost low as possible. And the biggest thing is just making sure that you seal everything. The aluminum's not going to rust if it has a seal over it. But the anti-rust will help, at least to me. I don't know, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like doing. The tan, I'm going to do the tan marsh grass. You can kind of see there how it's not shining or anything. The tan marsh grass, and then I'm going to take this. It's just some of my mom's old flowers. Zip tied them together at the bottom, and this is kind of my test subject. I just put it on here, kind of spread them apart a little bit, and then I spray painted over them, and that's kind of what I got. And then that way, tan will look like where I hunt. It's bulrush. I hunt on Rush Lake in Wisconsin. So when I go out, it's going to resemble very similar, or as similar as I can get it, to the actual bulrush by giving it that design. So hopefully that'll work. Next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be painting the seats and the sides of the boat of the sides of the inside with my tan marsh grass. I'm going to give that 2 coats. The coat that's going to go over the black is going to be tan marsh grass as well. So it should give it a nice my goal is for the whole boat to be tan, or it will be all tan. And then I can go on with my camel. The bottom of the boat, the way that I did it was exactly the same as I did in the inside. Grinded it out, cleaned it off, hose, rub it down with a mat, and then, or not a mat, a washcloth, wet washcloth to get all of it, and I just painted over it the same. You don't need to go off and do 6 or 7 coats. Alright, 2 coats is more than enough. One of the videos that I saw was a guy gave the boat like 10 coats, and it was way more than necessary. I'm not saying take the easy road out, but the more coats you have on, and the more stuff that's more prone to chip. That's the other thing, is you don't want to put a coat on right away. Like this, I'm going to let this sit overnight until tomorrow to paint the bottom. You don't want to paint too early, because then if there's moisture in it with the other layer of paint, it's not going to sit right. It's going to chip off. It's going to break off. Next is, like I said, I'm just going to give it the tan marsh grass. I didn't find anything special. You really can't see that because there's paint over it. Let me grab one of the cans for you. It's just this. It's Hunter Specialties Permanent Camo Paint. It's oil-based, just like the Rust-Oleum. That's what you want to use for a boat on water. So I'm a big duck hunter, and it's what I do. And hopefully it'll turn out the way that I want it. So next time you see the boat, it's going to be black bottom with tan on the seats and the side of the boat. Okay, so base coat completely done, inside and out. Tan inside, I put 2 more coats on it, so we're good to go. It's completely covered. Now we're going to camo it. Alright, I'm going to show you how we do that. Let me grab my other camo paint. Alright, how I'm doing it, I'm using a green and a brown camo paint, and then this is just some of my mom's flowers that she had. They're like a spine, I don't know what they are. They work great. Alright, I just put it over where I want to paint, spray the can, put my respirator on because it's spray paint. Alright, and then just going to spray over it a couple times with some green and some brown. Alright, I'm going to take the green, and this is what you get. Now when I do it more, I don't always do the same consistency pattern with the tan, or with the green and the brown. Mix it up. Nothing in nature is perfect. Alright, I mean the edges are pretty straight, but even then I move them around. That's why I have this where it's kind of turned. Nothing's perfectly straight. I see people using PVC pipes, just straight lines. Nothing's straight. Alright, especially out in the marsh, things are waving. Nothing's going to be the same. So you always want to make sure that you mix it up. Keep using different ones. So I'm going to show you what I did on the side here, what it looks like. Alright, that's the side of my boat. Alright, nothing is the same. It's all different. It's just all different. Break up the outline. Don't have to go all the way to the bottom. I mean, because the boat's going to be sitting in the water. So that area down at the bottom is not too important. Alright, and then always make sure that you do the front of the boat. A lot of people will forget that because that does sit out and ducks can see that very well. So I'm going to finish this up, and then that will be it for the camouflaging and repainting of the boat. Whew. Alright, all done. Painting went very well. There's a couple spots that I missed that I want to fix quick. done, so let me take you through and show you. Alright, this is the inside. Like I said, I'm going to put floorboards at the bottom there, so don't need to worry about that. I did do that. There's some in the back there. You probably can't see it. I did cam on the bottom back there because we were not going to put a floorboard in the back that I know of. That's the inside. I'm extremely happy with the way that it turned out. Like I just said, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome. I feel like this was professionally done. I'm not a professional. So, next project, not going to be done for a while. So, I don't know when I'm going to put that one on, but the next project is going to be pretty much just getting plywood, putting it at the bottom, painting that. That's not going to be too big of a thing. The next big project is going to be, however, my pop-up line. So when I do that, I will show you all that. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope something that I did helped. If you have any comments, feel free to do so. Comment any tips, any questions on what I did if I didn't explain something very good. Any other things that you might want me to put on, just let me know. Comment. Thanks for watching.